Okay, so with the theme today of being full, so full of good and bad, just so full, my phone storage is filled up again. So I'm gonna have to really go in there and move some things around and remove some things and maybe even get a new phone. Like, wow. So I know I don't have a lot of time left in here. I might do a part 2, I guess. um, this is really fun so far. I know I've been a little all over the place, but thank you for being with me for my process as I ground back down into doing these regular readings. And so while the camera stopped recording, I actually pulled out 2 cards. In the past position, 5 of Cups, Horsetail, which is really interesting because horsetail is one of the oldest plants that we have on this planet still, and it grows really different from a lot of other, reproduces different. It's an ancient kind of plant. The 5 of Cups in the past position for horsetail, and in the future position turmeric, 5 of Wands, which is funny because turmeric's like real trendy, you know? It's like it's real big in the ethos right now. And so the past 5 of Cups is all about kind of not seeing or appreciating that you have 3 cups full and you have 2 cups spilled over or empty. And so it's about focusing on the things you don't have and not acknowledging all the things that you do have. That was in the past. That can be collectively as a planet, that can be in your personal life, that could be in a community that you were part of, it could be any kind of thing that was going on in your past or connected to you in your past. In the present position, we are fully in this Emperor energy, right in the middle of the wheel, like right in that cross, in that intersection, the longest day of the year, the biggest container that we could ask for, but it doesn't last, right? An Emperor's sanctuary is always going to be, the brighter you shine, the cooler your home is, like the more stuff you got going on there, the more it's going to attract. It's going to attract good, it's going to attract bad, it's going to attract things into your life. And so as you develop this stability, as you develop this abundance and this lushness and this growth and this light and this sanctuary, as you develop this home and this foundation, as you develop this strength, you're going to attract good and you're going to attract bad. And you may have gotten caught up in the trap of wanting to be unseen in the past just to avoid all of that. Because attention, you're going to get good attention, you're going to get bad attention. And when you get attention, you're almost inevitably going to have this turmeric, 5 of Wands energy coming into your life. Conflict, disagreement. In this card particularly, it's also about like diversity, and not so much in a positive way, but like different kinds of people, different opinions, and they're all fighting, and they're fighting against you for being different. I've seen this card in kind of like a witch wound environment of like literally a woman being burned at the stake, and that's like all of the 5 wands involved, and these people are like attacking her, but she's also yelling and screaming and defending herself and fighting, and you know, like if you're gonna be lush and you're gonna attract attention and you're gonna attract negative attention, you're gonna have to fight. You're gonna have to stand up for yourself. You're gonna have to utilize that strength and that stability that you have as the emperor to protect that home and that sanctuary, to make sure that it lasts and it creates and generates as much as it can through its life, through its cycle. Everything comes to an end, but that doesn't mean that we give up and we go die in a hole. I mean, we can choose to do that, I guess, but for the most part, we have this inherent drive within us to keep going and to fight for our home. That's the oldest story in human history, is to create a nest and to defend it from those who wish to steal from you. So in the past, you lacked appreciation for what you had, and as you focused on what you do have, and you learned from what you've lost, you've come into this emperor space of strength and stability and growth, and start to attract attention, both good and bad, and are put into a position where you have to defend yourself. And at the bottom of the deck here, we have 10 of Pentacles. It's got wild yam in this deck for 10 of Pentacles. I don't know too much about that, but you might personally. And feel free to use that as any kind of message or confirmation that feels appropriate to you. But 10 of Pentacles is the victory after lots of struggle, of putting one foot in front of the other, of having faith and working through those hard times and through those obstacles and through the resistance, and creating something and developing something that is like a home and like a really full to the height fulfillment of that home, or that, you know, that business, that whatever it is that you're trying to build and bring into its fullness, that is what you're being called to focus on right now. So I'm gonna pull a couple of cards from this traditional deck here. And I'm just gonna pull 3 again and see what other layer of energy we have going on in there. Okay, so on the bottom of the deck we have 6 of Cups, which is about memories, it's about nostalgia, things that we're familiar with, things that we've experienced in the past. And then for this story arc here, we have